Dave, tonight for Trevor Bauer wasn't as effective of an outing for him. He spoke with us just a couple minutes ago now, saying that he felt great coming into the game, but couldn't really land his curveball against lefties. What were your takeaways from him tonight?
I think that's fair. I thought there were some good throws with the fastball tonight. I thought there were some good throws with the cutter. He didn't go to his curveball till a little bit later. Just might not have had the feel for it. But just overall, there was a bad walk in there and just giving up some slug to a couple guys. But just for him to get to the seventh inning, I think was really important as far as trying to win a series, spell some other guys, keep other guys fresh. So obviously you want to throw up zeros, but still the value of being able to go into the seventh inning was a positive, certainly.
And what was the Rangers pitcher's Colby Allard? What was he doing so well? And that gave him the edge against your hitters.
I think he was just mixing. He used both sides of the plate. We're not too familiar with him. I think we might have seen him in spring training, but you're still trying to learn on the fly. He cut the ball in on the right-handers, the changeup down and away, fastball. He located arm side, so he just missed barrels all night long.
And with Andy Burns, when you have guys go down like a Max Muncy, how nice is it to have a player who's called up to come in and produce?
Andy that was one of the highlights, to get his first major league hit. I thought that was great. It's great for him and his family, and making history, first major league hit. And I don't know how many guys got their first major league hit and pitched in a major league game that same game. So he picked us up with that inning as well. But yeah, just to come up here, know the guys in spring training and then earn an opportunity to play here is really good to see.
And what led to that decision to have him pitch?
It was just more for me trying to not put Nate in harm's way. I was hoping that he could get through that one inning and throw up a quick, efficient ninth inning. It just wasn't to be, and we haven't thrown him more than 30 pitches, something like that. And it was 1+, and so I just felt that at that point in time, the game was out of hand, and I didn't want to put him in harm's way.
And do you happen to know Andy's history with pitching, if it was when he was younger or what that looks like?
I had no idea. So as I made the mound visit, there's a little comedic stuff just to kind of diffuse the moment and to get him ready. And I sort of ambushed him, but he stepped up for us, so I had no history. I just figured he had a right arm and he can throw it over the plate.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
Next question is from JP Hoornstra. Go ahead.
Dave, I wanted to ask you about that appeal play at third base to retire Garcia. Who called for that, and how did that sort of play out?
Our guys saw it. We saw it as a staff, and it was an easy one.
Okay. And then something we've talked about in the past, but I feel like not for a while. They stole 4 bases against you tonight. How concerning is that? And are there specific adjustments that come to mind off the top of your head? Well,
I thought Trevor and Walker and Kenley are pretty much the most the victim of that. And I think that Walker and Kenley have done a really nice job, and Trevor up to tonight. He just didn't various looks as much as he probably could have, and various times. And that was something you can tell was part of their game plan to put pressure on us and steal some bases.
Thank you.
Next question is from Fabian Ardaya. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. The last couple outings for Bauer, some of the struggles have sort of coincided with some pretty significant drops in his spin rate. I'm just wondering if there's any correlation there in your eyes, and if 2 starts is too small of a sample to sort of judge or have any sort of concern off of that.
I'm not concerned about it. I think it just comes down to just making pitches.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Next question is from Juan Toribio. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave, before the game, you guys put Muncy on the IL. What kind of went into that decision? Anything new with him?
It was one of those things where talking to Max, talking to the training staff, and if it was going to be a 6 or 7 day thing, to just err on the side of caution, put him on the 10-day and see where we're at. And if it progresses like we hope and he's ready on that 11th day, that's great. But I just felt that we all felt that to kind of play both sides, it just didn't make as much sense, and to get a player here and activate him, and we might need that bat. And Rayleigh has performed well.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah.
Last questions from Eric Steven. Go ahead.
Dave, just one more on Andy Burns. When did he know he was going to pitch? Was it when you went out to the mound or sometime before that?
When I went out to the mound. So I was thinking about, should I give him a heads up or kind of surprise him with it? And I just felt that I didn't want to get the anxiety or the nerves with the anticipation of the potential to throw before that 9th inning, because my hope was that Nate would get through it. But after that homer, I just felt that, to what end to leave Nate out there, and I wanted to take the baseball from him and get Andy in there.
What was his response when you said he was going to pitch?
I just asked him if he was ready to make history, and he said, "Let's do it."
Thanks, Dave.